Respect isn't just a nice thing to do, it is the basis of all relationships between people. What if I told you, though, that the way you think about respect might be wrong? Another common misunderstanding about relationships is that disrespect only hurts relationships. In this video, we'll show you how disrespect can also hurt your mental health and well-being. We're about to tell you a shocking truth that could change the way you see and connect with the world. To protect your honor and make your relationships better for good, learn these skills. Don't forget that we want to hear from you. Leave your ideas and experiences in the box below. Let's start. Lack of respect all the time. Respect is more than just being polite. It's what makes all interactions between people healthy and effective. When people consistently show disrespect by acting in ways that diminish or ignore another person's worth, this is a red flag that must not be ignored. Such actions can show up in many forms, such as repeatedly cutting someone off in the middle of a talk, criticizing them in a hurtful way, or not caring about their emotional needs at all. All of these things hurt the trust and safety that are necessary for a relationship to be good. If this lack of respect doesn't go away, it's a clear sign that the relationship may be so bad that someone's mental health is at risk. When things are like this, pulling away is not an act of rejection, but a way to protect yourself. It is necessary to keep your mind at ease and your morals strong, so that your self-esteem doesn't drop and anger doesn't fester. It takes bravery and self-respect to decide to stay away from a toxic situation. By thinking about these exchanges, we can evaluate our own values and reaffirm our dedication to respecting each person's worth. Setting and sticking to clear boundaries is an important part of any respectful, long-lasting partnership. These limits not only keep people from getting hurt emotionally, but they also help build a space where respect for each other can grow. We give ourselves the chance to start over and grow as people when we face and acknowledge the continued lack of respect. You learn to value people even more when they treat you with the care you deserve. You also learn not to put up with less. Now is the time to think about how important respect is in our lives and how its lack can hurt both individuals and society as a whole. To build better, more satisfying relationships, you need to be able to spot these signs and act on them. Effects that are bad for mental health. Relationships that make you feel anxious, sad, or stressed all the time are very bad for your health and your ability to live a peaceful and good life. Stoic thought tells us to try to keep our minds calm because it is necessary for doing good things and having a good life. However, being in relationships that constantly throw off this mental balance goes against that goal. When we are in situations that make us feel mentally unstable, our mental health may get worse. This can show up as both emotional and physical problems, like not having enough energy, insomnia, or digestive problems. These symptoms make it clear that something in the way our relationships work isn't good for us and needs to be carefully looked at. The first step toward making changes is to become aware of the bad effects of these interactions. To protect our mental health, we often have to make tough choices, like cutting off or ending touch with people who are still making us feel bad. This is an important way to take care of yourself and a statement of our right to a healthy setting that helps us grow as people. By staying away from bad people and changing the way we interact with others, we not only protect our mental health, but also improve our ability to live a fuller, more moral life. In this step, we might need to get help from friends, family, or mental health professionals. They can give us the advice and support we need to get back on track emotionally and make our commitment to living a good life stronger. By making and keeping relationships that help and inspire us, we renew our dedication to peace and virtue, which are two important parts of a truly good life. Values not aligned. Personality and ideals that are in line with each other are very important for building real and meaningful relationships. There are times when our morals and personal values are at odds with each other, which can lead to moral problems that can be very upsetting. These arguments are more than just different points of view. They go to the heart of who we are and what we think is fair and right. Being around beliefs that are different from our own all the time can make us lose our inner peace and make us less authentic. When our morals are constantly at odds with each other, it's like trying to find your way without a map in a place you don't know. Every choice we make seems to call our honesty and deepest beliefs into question. This mismatch can make us lose confidence and self-esteem over time, because trying to fit or accept values that are at odds with our own can make us question who we are and what we believe in. In turn, this can lead to stress, worry, and a sense of being cut off from others and oneself. So, it's important to be aware of these value differences and deal with them right away. Setting clear limits on what is and isn't okay in our relationships can help us stay true to ourselves and our identities. This could sometimes mean limiting or stopping our interactions with people whose values are very different from our own. We have to make these tough decisions in order to stay true to ourselves and create a space where we can live in line with our ideals and beliefs. By making choices like these, we not only protect our mental health, but we also strengthen our resolve to live an honest life that is in line with our values. Not only do these things free us from inner conflicts, but they also make it possible for relationships to grow deeper and more important when people's values really match up. Feeling of constant drain. A good relationship should be a place where both people can feel supported and refreshed, not like they are constantly being drained. When spending time with someone constantly drains us, it's a scary sign that the relationship may be pulling us away from who we are and stopping us from reaching our full potential. Different kinds of exhaustion can show up, like being emotionally worn out after meetings, losing interest in things that used to make you happy, or even having a constant feeling of sadness or fear. These signs show that the relationship is taking more of our energy than it gives us back, which is bad for our physical and mental health. A relationship that drains our energy over and over again can also get in the way of our personal and business goals. These relationships don't move us forward. Instead, they hold us back and stop us from reaching personal satisfaction and being true to our abilities. It is very important to know when we are in a loop of constant draining. Once we know what this dynamic is, we should think about re-evaluating these exchanges and possibly changing how they work or ending them. To protect our health and make sure that our relationships are sources of growth and enrichment for both parties, we need to set good boundaries. Making decisions that put our health first isn't just a form of self-care. It's also a necessary step to make sure that we are surrounded by people who make our lives better and encourage us to be our best selves. When we let go of relationships that drain us, we make room for new ones that really care about us and lift our spirits. Manipulation. Manipulation, whether it's physical or mental, is a serious breach of the Stoic ideals of honesty and authenticity, which are important for establishing honest and respectful relationships. People who act in this way use sneaky ways to control or influence others, often hiding their real intentions and tricking the people they are controlling. People in relationships where there is manipulation distort their reality and how they see things, which makes it much harder for them to make open, well-informed decisions. When someone tries to trick us, they cloud our judgment, making it impossible for us to rationally and clearly assess situations and make choices. For some people, this can make them feel confused and unsure about their own choices and views all the time. In addition, manipulation hurts people's pride and honesty because it takes advantage of their emotional weaknesses to benefit the manipulator. This kind of behavior not only breaks down trust and respect between people, but it also hurts the person who is being manipulated emotionally and lowers their self-esteem. Because of this, it is very important to spot and deal with instances of manipulation in our relationships. By recognizing these actions, we can take steps to protect our independence and honesty. Setting clear limits, or in some cases, ending the manipulative relationship, totally may be necessary. We renew our commitment to honesty and authenticity by rejecting manipulation and getting rid of its effects from our lives. This is a basic thing we need to do to keep our judgments straight and to treat ourselves and others with respect and dignity. This leads to healthier relationships based on respect. Before we move on, please make sure to like this video and subscribe to our channel. It helps us a lot and costs you nothing. Never miss out on any of our videos about Stoicism and the way you can master your life. Lack of trust. Trust is an important part of all relationships, whether they are personal, business, or social. When we don't trust someone, it can seriously shake up the most important relationships we have. When trust is broken or not present, we are always on guard and can't let down our guard and share our real thoughts and feelings. Being on high alert all the time not only stops people from building deep, important relationships, but it also makes the environment uncertain and tense. Every action or word from the other person can be seen with suspicion if you don't trust them, and even a small mistake can turn into a big fight. When people don't trust each other, it can create a cycle of fear and nervousness where no one feels safe or important. Also, not trusting someone makes it harder for us to fully open up, which makes it harder to be sensitive and honest with other people. Being vulnerable is important for real relationships because it lets people share their hopes, fears, and dreams. Without it, partnerships tend to stay shallow and not be very useful. In order to restore the integrity of our relationships, we must first recognize and deal with the lack of trust. This could mean having an open and honest conversation about the worries and questions that each person has. Making clear promises and keeping them can help rebuild trust that has been lost. Sometimes it might be best to get help from a counselor or therapist to make this process go more smoothly. Dealing with these problems is an important part of making things safe, valued, and understood again for everyone concerned. When we work to rebuild trust, we not only fix broken relationships, but we also make it easier for ourselves to connect with others in a meaningful way. If someone is abused in any way, physically, emotionally, verbally, or psychologically, it goes against Stoic beliefs that people should be treated with respect and dignity. This kind of abuse not only hurts the victim deeply and right away, but it also ruins the moral fabric of relationships and goes against the very heart of what it means to be good and respectful. Leaving an abusive relationship is not only a healthy thing to do for yourself, it's also an absolute must if you want to keep your peace and dignity. According to the Stoics, who believe that peace of mind and unity of spirit are important things to seek, staying in an abusive relationship is not possible if you want to live a good and balanced life. Leaving an abusive relationship is therefore an important step not only in keeping yourself safe from more harm, but also in confirming your own worth and respect for yourself. It can be hard to go through this process when someone is emotionally dependent on or isolated from others because of abuse, but it's important to get help from friends, family, or trained experts to get through this tough time. When we decide to end these kinds of relationships, we choose a way to heal and regain our respect. It's a chance to start over with self-respect and mutual respect, and to change what we expect from ourselves and others in terms of how we treat each other and how we deal with each other. We are committed to better moral standards and the never-ending search for the state of well-being and respect that everyone deserves by taking this active step to end abuse. When we don't grow or support each other in relationships, it can lead to a stagnant situation that makes it hard for us to grow as people and help others. This lack of progress and help not only slows down our own growth, but it can also keep us from meeting our full potential. Growth and support are seen as important parts of a good relationship because they help both people get better and strengthen the bond between them. If these things aren't present, relationships can become one-sided or just functional, where people only talk to each other to meet their responsibilities or keep up appearances instead of connecting deeply and growing together. We need to keep an eye on the aspects of our relationships to make sure we are in a place that not only appreciates and respects what we bring to the table, but also supports and celebrates our growth and well-being. This evaluation might show that we need to talk about our shared goals and expectations, which will allow us to change the way we connect with each other so that everyone can grow and benefit. If there isn't any mutual support or growth over time, it might be time to rethink whether these relationships are worth keeping in the long run. It doesn't have to be a sudden breakup. Instead, it could mean changing the way you interact with each other so that both of you can grow and survive. Getting these relationships going again or adjusting them can lead to new opportunities for personal and group growth, turning interactions that are stuck into sources of inspiration and progress. In turn, this makes it easier for us to live a fuller life and make a good difference in other people's lives. This makes our relationships more in line with our deepest values and goals. In healthy relationships, there needs to be a balance between giving and getting, which shows a commitment to mutual respect and reciprocity. One party breaking these core principles is clear when they consistently act selfishly, putting their own wants ahead of those of the other individual. Stoicism says that actions should be moderate and fair, but this goes against what the theory says because it says that justice and emotional balance are important in all relationships. If someone is selfish like this, it can slowly weaken the foundations of any relationship, making it one-sided and unbalanced. This not only breaks down the shared support system that is needed for a healthy relationship, but it also makes it harder for both people to stay calm and do good things. When someone repeatedly feels ignored or undervalued, it can make them angry and frustrated, which, if not dealt with, can make the relationship between two people even worse. It's important for the longevity of any relationship to be able to spot and deal with selfish behaviors. To do this, both partners may need to talk openly about their wants and needs in order to find a balance where everyone feels valued and accepted. To make sure that respect and reciprocity are restored, it may be necessary to set clear limits or rethink how the relationship works in some situations. Taking care of these problems not only saves each person's integrity, but it also makes the relationship stronger as a whole, letting it grow in a more balanced and peaceful way. We confirm our dedication to the Stoic values of justice and virtue, which are important for both individual and group growth, by encouraging a world where kindness and respect for others are commonplace. All meaningful relationships start with destructive conversation. The way we talk to each other has a huge effect on how connected we are and how well we understand each other. When conversation is mostly critical, negative, or destructive, it can have a big impact on emotional stability and peace of mind. According to the Stoics, conversation must be positive and helpful for everyone's growth and well-being. They believe that harmony and balance are important in relationships. If the way we talk to each other always makes us feel bad, it's clear that we need to make some changes. This kind of behavior not only breaks down trust and respect, but it can also make people tired, angry, and distant from each other. When words are used to tear down instead of build up, the real point of conversation, which is to bring people together and make their lives better, is lost. To get communication back on track in any relationship, it's important to recognize destructive patterns and deal with them openly. This could mean setting clear rules for how to communicate with others that reject negativity and promote respectful, open communication. Sometimes getting help from a mediator or counselor can help change the way people talk to each other in a healthy and more helpful way. Encouragement of healthy communication is an investment in the relationship itself and in everyone's mental health. This way of acting not only follows the Stoic ideas of positive relationships, but it also makes a space where everyone can feel heard, respected, and valued. Changing negative ways of talking to positive ones is important for keeping relationships that last and are meaningful to both people, so they can support and grow each other. Disregarding someone's personal needs is unhealthy in any relationship. To keep interactions healthy and balanced, you need to respect and care about each person's personal needs and limits. When these needs are ignored on a regular basis, it shows a major lack of respect, which can seriously hurt the dignity and inner peace of those involved. According to Stoicism, respecting others back is not just a nice thing to do. It's also an important part of being good and feeling good about yourself. If someone in a relationship consistently doesn't care about or respects your needs and limits, it could mean that the relationship goes against your morals and values. Feelings of not being seen or important can come from being invalidated all the time. This is bad for your self-esteem and your ability to live a life that fits your ideals. This lack of care can also get in the way of your personal growth and development, making it harder for you to live your life fully and truly. Recognizing and dealing with this dynamic in relationships is important to make sure that your relationship setting is in line with the Stoic values of mutual respect and care. To make things better, it's important to be clear about what you want and need from the connection. To protect your dignity and create an environment where everyone respects each other, you may need to set and stick to firm limits. In some situations, you may need to reevaluate relationships that aren't meeting your basic needs and either make changes or stop them. By making sure that your needs are met, you not only improve your place in the relationship, but you also create a space where honesty and respect can grow, which leads to healthier and more satisfying relationships. Mutual non-responsibility is an important part of any healthy relationship because it lets both people share equal responsibility for acts and the relationship as a whole. People who don't take responsibility for their actions can make things feel unfair and unbalanced, especially if they regularly avoid taking responsibility for their mistakes or conflicts. This behavior not only goes against Stoic ideas of fairness and honesty, but it can also hurt the relationship's trust and mental stability in a big way. One partner often puts the other in a situation where they have to make up for the other partner's lack of responsibility, which creates an unfair burden. This imbalance can make people angry and upset, and if it isn't fixed, it can slowly break down the trust and mutual respect that are necessary for any relationship to last. To deal with these problems, it's important for both partners to be honest with themselves and talk about their actions and the results of those actions. This means admitting when you've done something wrong, saying sorry in a serious way, and making real efforts to change bad habits and stop them from happening again. Promoting mutual responsibility in a relationship is in line with Stoic ideas and also makes the relationship stronger, making it a place where trust and justice can grow. Creating this dynamic makes relationships more fair and balanced, giving everyone a strong base for continued personal growth and development.